Yo, 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 mic check 1, 2. Let's see how this works. Hey everybody. Let's start the stream. Alright. Let's get this thing going. I'm just mixing paint. I swear. Yo, yo. Let's get some paint on the palette. Look at the recipe. Luckily I got it printed out. So to get back into the groove, I'm just starting on a test model I did like 2 years ago. I'm gonna overwork it or rework it, make it a little bit better than what it used to be. Get some Sony and camera shade. This a guy. This for the shade for orc skin. And the other component is a Drakenhof nightshade. It's 2 to 1, so 2 parts of the Athonian camo shade and 1 part of Drakenhof. Our goal is to achieve something close to box art. I also have prepared some recipes for it. So this is a warm-up piece. Let's see how far we can get, because the main project is Golden Demon for this year. But this is a good starting point, I think, to get it going. Before I do the shading, this is just my paint mixer. Plop. Get some Ogren camo, because Ogren camo and alizarin green is our first highlight. And since I have already painted this guy, I'm gonna correct some parts of the skin that I wasn't that happy with. Yeah. Also, I have some glaze medium. It makes it a lot easier to deal with all this highlighting. And I'm also gonna crack open a brand new brush just for this first stream, and also because I need one. It's always so nice to use a brand new brush. It's really good. So let's get going here. So what I want to do, I don't know, let me focus this. What I want to do is to increase the contrast between the shade and the highlights, because I painted this real quick and I think I can make a lot of improvements on the highlights. At least it will really elevate the paint job, I think, if I spend a little bit more time on the highlights here. Let me get the palette cam for you guys. I need a little bit more water. Let's add some water to the palette. It's way easier to grab water from a drop on your palette than to go into the water pot again and again. Looking for the right consistency. Also, I want to add some glaze medium. Just makes it a little bit smoother. Let's start on the arm here. Hope this is clear enough. Just want to add some highlight here on the deltoid muscles. I think it could be a little bit brighter in general. Also some other parts that I can push a little bit. Also, I'm really rusty. Haven't painted in a long time. This is basically my comeback arc into miniature painting. I had some strong highlight on here, but I think the transition isn't really soft here. Could be way better. Just pushing some of these muscles, give them more volume. Also, this is a model from a friend of mine. He gave it to me and asked me if I can paint it for him, and I told him that it's going to be hard because I have so many projects going on. But right now, he's a lucky guy, because I finally have a reason to paint the thing. Hey, thanks man. Thanks Jörg, good friend of mine. How you doing? Yeah, let me know how the sound quality is, picture quality. I think I'm gonna go out of focus again and again here because I'm not used to the setup yet. Also, I have to manually focus each time it goes out of focus. My camera doesn't help me there too much, so we gotta get used to it. Let's focus this a little bit more. I'm already jumping to different parts. I started at the arm and now I'm already painting the head. But whatever, let's just get going. Get back into it. I already like how buffing up the shoulder here makes it pop better. Maybe you can't see it on screen right now, but I definitely notice it already. Just very carefully building up the highlight. I will focus mostly on the parts that you can actually see later on. Also, I'm using a new wet palette I didn't use before. It's kind of awkward because the sheets, the paper sheets are a lot different than what I used to use. Yeah, I like the brightish, the bright green. Looks really good. Because this is the Orc receipt for Orc skin tone. This isn't even the 40k recipe. But I like it, and I had the receipt lying around from painting the iron jaws. And why not use it again? I mean, nowadays with heavyarchive.com, you have such easy access to studio paint jobs. How's the frame rate, guys, if I move it around? How's the quality in general? Picture and sound. I'm really curious because this is the first stream. I don't know if I'm loud enough, if I'm echoing, or try to do my best to get it set up correctly. But what I'm doing right now, let me get it back into focus. It's just gently building up those highlights. Getting a feel again for brush control. Just placing pigment carefully. Later on I have to watch the stream myself to, or the VOD, to see and hear how it sounds. Even though there will be no music in the VOD, I set that up so I'm not getting any copyright issues with playing Spotify. I think my habit to jump around on the model might be a little bit problematic for focus. For this one, I don't try to take it too serious. I mean, this is a warm-up model after all. The actual model I'm gonna paint on the stream for Golden Demon is Scarbrand, the Bloodthirster. You also, or maybe some people know from Total War. That's gonna be my Golden Demon project, and it's kind of scary because I know how hard it is to place with large miniatures. Because the larger the miniature is, the more they expect from you. Or not the more they expect, but they expect to see the same amount of quality all around the entire model. And the larger the model is, the more surface you have to cover. And I have some really crazy ideas for this piece. I want an actual Bloodthirster, you know. It should be brutal. It should be a brutal piece, a bloody piece. Not quite sure how I'm gonna make it. Sorry guys for going out of focus again. Just highlighting his tricep a little bit. Want more volume in there because I only had like a very thin highlight. I'd love to make it a little bit broader, a little bit smoother. Trying to get into the habit, that's the word, the habit of refocusing all the time and regularly. What are you guys doing? Yo, Ficker Knoten, what's up? Yeah, well sure, what's up? I want to paint Scarbrand for Golden Demon. He's behind me. This side on the shelf there is, and I also bought a box of, let me see, a box of Free Company militia. The plan is to actually use them as casualties for the base, with lots of green stuff, lots of milliput, and create a setting or an environment where it looks like a crazy battlefield. Lots of corpses, maimed bodies, just gruesome. It's gonna be a hell of a project. I have no idea if I can make it in time, but I will try. And I also have a couple of models, basically one piece I made for last Golden Demon, which didn't place, the Deathwing Knights. I had some transportation damage on them, and I have to repair those. And hand them in once again. Maybe I have more luck next time. Yeah, ring my doorbell, bro. Come over. No problem. My mic settings are so bad, you probably hear it. I tried to work with an equalizer and stuff and get my mic settings sorted out, but it's more effort than it seems. That's what I found out. You have to have a degree in audio settings and I don't know what it's called. You have to be an audio engineer. But I have some time. I think it's a very good starting point for my stream with the settings I have right now. It's a starting point. There's a lot of work that I have to put in to get everything sorted out. Also, I want to stream regularly to get into the habit of things. Alright, thanks for the feedback, man. I'm definitely gonna do that. Just upped it a little bit. Just tell me if it's better. Also, I don't want the music to be too loud. It should just be background music. So we're not just sitting in awkward silence all the time. Thanks for the feedback. It's actually very helpful. Well, I'm out of frame again. Man, I really have to get used to this. Let's paint the face from the front. Yeah, like I said, this is a warm-up model to me. I switch positions with the model so much, it's gonna be quite hard to always keep it in focus. Something I like to do all the time, because the more you switch angles, the more solutions you find for spots that are very hard to paint. I figured that out at some point. I was like, I can't reach there. I can get to this spot, but the more you turn and move your model, the more you're gonna figure out that there is actually a way to get there. Yeah, I think that's, you can't even see it. Okay, background music at volume. That helps, thanks. Thanks for the follow. Yash. Yugi. Okay. Let's actually get some pure Ogren camo, diluted with glaze medium and a little bit of water, just to start glazing the stronger highlights. I don't know how visible it is for you guys with all the lights, the reflections, the compression of the recording. And I'm glazing those highlights on there. Yeah, better. I might have to change the position of my camera because I'm looking from this direction down like that, and you are looking from a different angle, and that makes it so when I'm looking at the model you can't really see the same angle that I see. But that means that I'm probably gonna be blocking the screen with my head. It's tricky, man. It's tricky. It's different than streaming games. Streaming games is pretty easy. You just have a screen capture and a webcam. Let's go. But this is different. Get some highlights on his arm. Some more on his chest, his pack here. Bring out all those folds on the neck. Brighten up the ear a little bit. Then we have the back here. Maybe we can improve on that a little bit. Brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I've chosen a glaze because I want to smooth things out, and also for the not peak highlights I want, or for the mid-tone highlights, however you want to describe it, I want a very smooth finish. And if I'm too precise with them, there's not much room to increase the brightness later on, because you're just painting a line on another line, and then the new line will cover the line before. And what I'm trying to do is, you see this part here, which is highlighted, I want to add brightness to this area, so there's more of a gradient, a larger area that's highlighted. So when I place a final highlight on top in the end, it's sitting on a smooth base of a previous highlight, which still shines through. That's something I noticed with edge highlighting. When you paint the previous edges too thin and you start to add another highlight, a brighter highlight, you will just cover all the work you did before, and that's very frustrating. Some more brightness on here. I think it's also important to introduce brightness gently. Of course, it's important to increase contrast with your miniatures to make them pop out more and more readable from a distance, or more punchy. But I think people underappreciate very, very subtle transitions. A lot of techniques I see are very very strong breaks in values, and I try always to create a very smooth base for a highlight to sit on, if that makes any sense at all. Try to get this even more in focus. It's still too dark here. Needs a couple of glazes here. Okay. I'm just rambling, man. Just talking. So I wouldn't be surprised if what I'm saying makes no sense at all. Let me see. Yeah, I want it even smoother. Just add thin layers of that brighter mix on top. Together with glaze medium, it really helps building up some very smooth gradients. And after I'm done with this, we're going to do some shading. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to do pure Ogren Camo right now, which is the final highlight. This is really fast painted, by the way. Usually this can take me hours to do this. But my goal, as I said, is not perfection right now. It's more just getting back into the hang of things. think it looks a little bit better, a little bit smoother. Could be even more. Okay, let's push those little skin folds here. Get some highlight on there. Those little wrinkles, you can definitely be a little bit more aggressive on highlighting because there's not much surface area to build up smooth transitions. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going into pure Ogren camo, just very slightly thinned, but I want good coverage now to really get those little wrinkly edges. Hope you can see that well, yeah. And I'm focusing on the edges that face upward. I'm gonna do some more highlighting on the face now to really get those features to pop out. Like his cheekbones, want to emphasize here. Get his lips, make them stand out. Trying to get some spotlight on his forehead. And once we're happy with this stage, I'm gonna shade him the real way, because you got all those Games Workshop washes, and people like to use those washes as washes, of course, but you can do more with it. And that's something that I figured out a while ago, because I was always struggling with getting these very transparent layers of shading, because every time I use those shades, they would pool and do all those coffee stain effects, which really triggered me. and I couldn't understand how to use them properly. But it's a very easy method and a very, very easy trick. I'll show you later. Let me see. Yeah, maybe I could add some more highlights on this arm here. Seems a little dark in some areas, especially the deltoids, I think, can be a little brighter. It's front deltoid. That's another area which is kind of hard to get to. Can you see that? No. And I'm pushing the pigment towards the most raised area. I got some dust on there, which I love. I love dust on my inches. My favorite thing. Well, I see some areas on the face that could be pushed a little bit more. His nose. Oh yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. Have a good time, man. Have a good vacation. I mean, we see each other very soon. Anyways, but yeah, thanks for stopping by, mate. Truly appreciate that. Just very subtle changes here. But I feel like that's the trick. Just don't build it up too fast. Yeah, you still with me? Thank you, mate. Trying to work out his little wrinkles. Okay, I think we can shade them a little bit and then add the final highlights and jump on to some different parts. Maybe the leather, the metal. What is it gonna be? Yeah, do the shading now. But I want a different brush for that. Don't want to destroy my main brush here. Let me see, what brush are we going to take? Yeah, that should be good. Just using a cheaper brush that has already taken some damage. So yeah, it's gonna be 2-to-1. That means it's gonna be 2 parts of the green. Oh god, it's already dried up. Is it true? Oh my god. Well, I know what wet palette sheets I'm not using again. What is that? Have I been using wet palette sheets or toilet paper? I'm not sure. Well, rip. Do it again. So the trick is to soft shading for skin, for anything. The usual method is to take these washes and apply them thickly onto your models. Yeah, the content is going to be really shady, mate. The usual way is to just apply it thickly onto your entire model and wash it in these colors. But what you can also do is create the tone that you want to have. You can use it pure, or you can do what I'm gonna do. This is for the skin receipt, which is 2 parts Athonian Camo shade and 1 part Drakenhof. And what I'm going to do now is not apply it thickly or in a thick manner, but apply it very thinly. Let me see. Well, we're gonna start here. Yeah, let's start with this arm. Why not? So what I'm gonna do is push the shadow or the shaded part to the middle of the arm, so the highlight can be even more intense here. What I'm doing is I just applied a very thin coat right in the middle of the arm, and once this thing or this part dries, it will be a little bit darker. And I'm just applying this shade very thinly, very thin. I don't even want to leave drops or too much. It's just, it should be like a wet wipe, you know. Also, if I want to shade his back towards his backpack so it gets darker, I do the same thing. I push the shade very gently towards the area that I want to be darkest. And it works great just by applying a couple of very transparent layers. You can really build up some nice shading here. I'm going to do this over the entire model now. It's very important that you don't have a lot of paint on your brush. I think that's one of the most important parts about it. And I will keep pushing, sorry for going out of frame, we'll keep pushing that shade towards the recess. It's like a filter. It's like a little filter that you apply over your skin, or it could be a cloak as well. It could be all kinds of things. It's a way to soft shade and apply shades in a very controlled way. You can already see how the areas slightly get darker. Also towards his wraps around his bicep, I want to shade those a little bit more. His rear delt, I'm going to shade a little bit more. Yeah, but if you see that, how thin it is, it's just wet. The brush is just wet. It's not soaked in paint. So behind his ear, get some shade in there. You can also paint lines with it. It doesn't have to be large areas. It can be very precise as well. You can do the recess shade with this technique. Gonna intensify the shadows under his cheekbones, around his nose, under his lip. And the nice thing about it is how transparent everything works. It's not like using dark paint and painting over, because then you get all those brush marks and stains, the texture of paint. And since this is a wash, it doesn't build up a lot of texture. It's just very subtle, as long as you don't have too much paint on your brush. Or too much wash on your brush. It's just slowly adding and amplifying those shadows. No, I don't like these sheets, these paper sheets. They are sucking up all my paint in seconds. No. No, 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 no. I don't like them at all. Goodbye. Okay. Gonna add some different, just regular baking paper. Sorry for the noise, guys. It's not as pretty as the other paper, but no joke. It was sucking dry my palette in seconds. Like those washes, I just applied them like 5 minutes ago, and they were already dry. That's not the purpose of a wet palette, in my opinion. I don't need that much. That's why I'm using my texture tool here. Some nightshade. Alright. Yeah, it sucks you dry, dude. What the hell? What are we talking about? Already starting the herb farm. Damn it. Okay, that's much better. I can already see it. You can also see that the paper isn't sucking any water out of the paint because of the surface, which is anti-liquid adhesive surface. Don't know what I just said. Just read between the lines, I guess. Thanks for the follow, mate. Sven, truly appreciate it. This is going to be a more regular thing now. Since this is my first stream, it shows me what I still have to adjust. What works, what doesn't. I'm gonna watch the VOD as well, so I'm gonna see if I'm autofocus. I'll try to improve next time, guys. What are you guys doing, by the way? Are you hobbying yourself? Are you just chilling? It's a Sunday after all. What are people doing on Sunday? Ooh, that sounds great. Some renegade militia, huh? Enjoy your meal, mate. I haven't eaten anything with substance today. I might order some food later, since it's gonna be like a 2 to 3 hour stream. I have a chance to get some food in as well. I'm still fine. I'm not struggling right now, but I think I might order a pizza. I think that's not bad. It should be okay for the stage almost. I had some areas here, yeah. At his lat. Down at his back. Was a little bit too bright. There's some shading there. Almost done with the stage. I'm going fast today. Maybe I can finally gift it to my friend who gave this org to me some years ago. He will be happy. So much different things I could paint, and I actually want to paint. I have a lot of dwarfs from the old world, like way too much stuff. I bought so much stuff, and it's sitting in my shelf for a month on end now, almost a year, and I haven't touched it. Why is it always this way? I want to have everything, but I don't have time to paint it. Oh yeah, in the garden, man. Today was really nice weather, actually. I haven't been out once. Slept fairly long and had a nice little breakfast. Was chilling for a little bit, and then I prepared for stream already. Okay, let's do the final shading, which is our shade mix we have right here, plus Incubi Darkness, so we're adding an actual paint to our shade mix. That's my vortex shaker, by the way. I swear. Let's mix it up. We need more shade. There's not enough shade here. And then we're gonna do some hopefully precise recess shading. Okay, good enough of that. I think that should be fine. Mix it all up. Yeah, that should be it. Take out decent brush and start hammering away at this. Can I zoom in a little bit more? Nah, this max. Oh, but it's large enough to see. So what I want to do now is focus on the most visible and deepest recesses and kind of just recess shades this thing, almost panel line it. Let's trying to get the focus right. Yeah. It's kind of watery because the brush. So I have to be very careful here. Like this. Pronounce those little skin folds behind his ear. Very gently. One second, guys. I want to switch the music real quick. Trying to get the perfect angle so you can actually see what I'm doing. Also those areas where his gear touches the skin, I want to paint it with a shade color, so there's actually some separation between it. And in these little folds, the shade should be deepest anyway, or darkest. Work it in there. The nice thing is it really flows into those recesses because the paint is a little bit more watery. I wish I had more depth of field, or less depth of field, that's what I mean. Because the slightest movement in your autofocus, that's pretty intense to look after all the time. Because when I paint without a camera, I move the model all the time. I rotate it backwards, forwards, flip it on top of its head. Let's do this arm here. It should be easier to keep in focus here. I'll flip it on top of its head to get underneath those straps. This little, well, my brush just jumped. It's way easier to get into those recesses if you flip it on top of its head. Put it upside down. It's hard to see because of the light. My hand creates such a huge drop shadow. I'm trying to find the right angle. Let's get the areas I forgot the first time I painted the skin. It's not that much, and then we can go on to the last highlight. Saying almost good. Okay. Let's get the final highlight on this guy. which in this case would be Organ Camo and Screaming Skull. I always like to use the texture tool to get paints out of the pot. Makes it way easier. And you don't have to leave your paint pots open all the time. Let's get that final highlight. I feel like I have to clean my brush already. There's so much stuff in there. Washes and shades are poison to your brush. You can't leave it in there for too long because it creeps up into your brush very easily. Give me a sec. Almost done. Okay. Should be good now. Let's see something. If I change the position of my lamp a little bit, maybe you can see more then. It seems so dark here. Trying to establish all those peak highlights now. Concentrating a little bit more here to get those sharp lines as sharp as possible. Trying to get as focused as possible. Get some peak highlight on the chin. Also on the top of his lips. I could do some of the skin tone shenanigans you can do with orc skin, add Cadian flesh tone and stuff. Makes it look way more realistic, but not for this one. Sorry for teasing. Also, I'm not really good at it. Haven't had that much experience painting it like that. pretty decent, I guess. His face needs a little bit more highlights. It's the most important part here. Thanks for the follow, XQT. Appreciate it, man. Let's get this channel to Twitch affiliate. I think I need 50 follows. And then it's 1,000 or something. Become Twitch partner. That's my goal, man. Let's work on this. I will stream regularly right now. Not right now, but in general. Oh, doesn't look bad. And now we can add the Screaming Skull to it. To really get the peak highlights here. For example, the tip of his ear. You can put it there. You can put it on like the edges of his lips and chin. Rashar, what's up? Hope you're all doing fantastic on this Sunday. Yeah. Need me back to WoW, yeah. I'm a WoW gamer, guys. Guys, I will play some WoW with you for sure. But miniature painting takes so much time. That's the sad stuff. It's fun and sad at the same time because I wish I could paint more models in the same amount of time that I'm spending for a single one. Yeah, I'm not happy with these blink points. Way too watery. The consistency wasn't right, and what happens then is the paint just spills off of your brush. You're sure. I might come online after streaming, help you guys out a little bit, but later. It's maybe 10, 11. Depends on how long I go with the stream today. You're on, I know. You guys are crazy. You guys are always on, man. Every time I turn on my Discord, you guys are going at it. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. Now you know where to find me. Yeah, thanks for the follow, mate. Every follow helps, guys. Truly does. Seems so unimportant, but it actually helps me out a lot. Yes, thanks. totally out of focus. I feel no, it's not that bad. Just add some final peak highlights here. And I think we can call the skin okay-ish. Yo, Laugh is here as well. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Can you even see this? I wish I had a camera that just does it all by itself. We don't have to worry about it, but I don't have the worst camera in the world, but it doesn't really do it. Where is it? There. Yeah, thanks, man. To 3 a.m. That's a little bit late for me, but maybe 1 or 2. I can do that. Haven't played in a while. Yeah. Don't you have like a bajillion gold already by now? I think the skin looks okay. I think skin is fine now. I think it looks okay. It's not box art or nothing for competition, but I think it looks decent. It looks okay. Usually I'm not happy with decent, but 200. You're missing 200 or you... Yeah. So next would be, I think we're gonna do the wraps that he has around his arms. For that I'm gonna use, what we're gonna do. Because I was looking at the box art for it, and those wraps are kind of like beige sand color. I could do Steel Legion. Ich hab die Bone could be a way. I think I'm gonna use Baneblade Brown because it's not as yellow. Shaking it. Let's base coat a little bit. That's always a nice thing to do. What is more fun than base coating? 200G. Gotcha, man. Well, that's not that much. way to go. Okay, let's do some base coating, guys. Focusing on all those, oh, I have the wrong brush for it. It's a big mistake to use your, yeah, no man, it's a crazy amount. It's a big mistake to use your detail brush or your main brush for base coating. I won't do this again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crack open a brand new brush. In this case, it's a Ruffle. The only thing I don't like about these brushes, I don't know if it's always like this, but they add this little tag here, this little barcode as a sticker, and what happens is it gets stuck to the shaft, and you can't peel it off, because then it's so sticky, man. It's so annoying. So the best thing you can do is just leaving this thing on. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna touch it. I did this with my last brush and I wasn't happy with my choices. Let's get it soaked in water a little bit so it can split by itself. At the beginning, the brush tip is quite solid. Slowly it will start softening up. It's important to not be, I think it's important to not crack it, you know. And just give it some time. It ruins your tip in my experience if you just crack it open like it's nothing. It becomes soft already. Almost soft enough. Yeah, now you can see it's splitting, but there's still some bristles in the middle that are kind of glued together here. There's still some bristles there. Almost there. It's way more fun to base coat with a bigger brush because it holds so much more paint. So it's not a headache to refill your brush every 2 square millimeters. Load our brush. Don't load it too crazy. Also, the consistency should be out of the pot with a little bit of water, just a little bit. Yeah, this looks quite good. Let's base coat a little bit, guys. Don't we all love base coats? Isn't it the most fun part of the hobby? Admit it, that you love base coating as much as I do. Also, once you apply the first layer, and maybe some of you guys already know this, leave this to dry. Don't touch it anymore. It's very tempting to just go over it again and again. You see a little part hasn't that much coverage, and you start going over it again and again. And what's going to happen is you're going to break this layer of drying paint. You're going to rip it open, and you're going to get some very nasty surface texture because of it. So what I like to do is just move around the model. We got one layer on there. I know that his pants are also really bright. Was looking at the box art. Oh, you play Alliance. Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, I would love to play that warrior a little bit. I always wondered why there isn't a World of Warcraft tabletop game. Wouldn't it be super successful? Maybe they don't want to deal with all the production issues you have with games like this. Way easier to just sell a code than sell actual packaged miniatures. But I think it would be kind of hype having a WoW tabletop. Like Warcraft 3 in tabletop format. Got these different armies, undead, night elves, humans, orcs. That'd be so dope. I'm a huge sucker for old school Warcraft. Sorry, this should be a little bit out of focus here, but it's hard to get every angle while base coating. I do my best to keep you guys in the loop here. Okay, now the straps around his arm have dried, and now I can add the second layer, no problem. Rank 14, man. 5 golds. I think it will take me like 3 to 4 coats to get this covered fully. Yeah, it's just time, man. It's true. It's true. Thank you, Melon. Thank you, Melinar, for the follow. Thank you very much. We're getting there, guys. Maybe I can reach Twitch affiliate pretty fast. Would be so cool, man. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday evening or morning or wherever you are right now. Yeah, don't stay in one spot for too long. I keep moving around the model. I only touch it again once it is completely dried. You know, you can see how there are still spots shining through from the primer, but still I don't touch it. You get the point. Yeah, we used to play like insane people. I remember. That's me. Going crazy on everything I enjoy. Like Warhammer, gaming. Used to be the gym. Haven't been there in quite a while now. But that would be a nice arc, gym arc. Would be cool. I mean, I'm getting older now. I definitely have to do something to stay in shape. Years ago, I could eat anything, man. Anything. Like, give me a cake for my own. Just evaporate it into air. Wouldn't even gain a single gram. These days, it's pretty decent still, but I notice a difference by now. Just smarter. It's already covering pretty nicely. I'm not quite sure if Baneblade Brown was the right color, but I'll take it. Here's what it is. It could be a Shakti Bone as well. Maybe that would have fitted the box art a little bit better. But yeah, it is what it is. This is a nasty angle, hard to show. It's just underneath his arm, in his armpit. I kind of like Baneblade Brown. It's an interesting color. It's almost a skin tone, kind of. It's very flexible. What you can use it for: teeth, leather, cloth, stone, bone, all kinds of stuff. Definitely the right choice to use a big brush. Also, I feel like adding these brighter elements to the model, like the bright pants and stuff, just makes everything on stream so much more visible. It helps. Get the part that is inside the shoe here. That little fold. Almost done with this base coat. I can't believe it. Let me look at the box art, guys. I have to take a quick look. That is it. So you can see it's kind of bright wraps. Can you? Oh, I need a 360 here. It's so bright, man. But I think we're gonna stay with Baneblade Brown. The other straps are going to be leather. This is more of a linen cloth theme, it's like, or just very bright leather maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it could be just very bright leather. You are? What is wrong with you, Sarah? You didn't want to do this. Is it because you don't have to go MC anymore? One sec. Bear with me, guys. Almost done with this base code. Yeah, true. That's true. But you're gonna change it out so quickly, man. I know. When it came out back in the day, I had rank 14 gear and all this kind of stuff, and within a couple levels, some quests, I was already swapping stuff out. Yeah, okay, yeah. True. A couple exceptions. Yeah. By the way, guys, this channel sometimes can also be a gaming channel. 80 to 90% focus on this channel will just be miniature painting. Warhammer in particular, Golden Demon prep, competition, commission painting, display painting, whatever, stuff for my own army. Painting my Dark Angels, there's so much stuff I want to paint, like Black Knights, a lot of Ravenwing, just so much stuff. I want to paint my dwarfs. There's some other stuff I want to paint. Some Death Guard, some orcs, some towers, all kinds of stuff. But then I might also have my little time where I play some games as well. Yeah, it covers pretty well. Oh yeah. Yeah, looks pretty good. Coverage is pretty good, man. Felt neat doing this. So we have the choice to just finish this part. So we're gonna do that, then we're done. I could just base coat my stuff, but it might be a little bit boring. Let's highlight this stuff in a sec. Okay, for highlighting, we need the base color. No, it's okay, Sodor. It's no problem for me. It's no problem. I mean, guys, you can ask anytime about painting, anything. Just don't be shy. You can also just lurk, of course. By the way, I have a Discord as well, a Discord community. If you scroll down, you get the link to the Discord. You can post live requests there. So at the end of my stream, I just have a little look in there, and you can post your works, your projects you're on right now. And I will take a look at it. If you need some advice, some feedback, or just want somebody to look at it, feel free. Post it in there. My Discord, and then there is a text channel called Live Review. You can post in there. I'll take a look. You're schmutzy. Thanks for the follow. We almost doubled our followers in one day. That's so cool. Thanks for the support, guys. Truly appreciate it. Okay, we need some glaze medium as well. Oh, it's gone pretty well so far. Yeah, give guys feedback regarding video quality, sound quality is always appreciated. Since this is the first stream, I will take that feedback and try to improve every stream I do. There are some technical limitations, of course, but of course I can improve a lot still. Can always improve. Making a little mixture for my first highlight, adding some glaze medium to it as well. I have to be careful to not get in touch with the shade mix. Yeah, let's start on the knee here. Let's see how strong this mix is. I just want to gently highlight this without adding too much paint. I think it's a little bit overloaded, the brush. A little bit too watery. Let me focus this. Yeah, no problem, Soda. Thanks for stopping by, and really appreciate the interaction, man. Alright, so we're gonna brighten up these straps a little bit. What I've done is I've taken the Baneblade Brown and added some Ushabti bone to it, and also some glaze medium. And I try to buff up some areas, like his little orc butt here. Yeah, it's practice. It's absolute practice. I'm a little bit rusty, to be honest. I haven't painted that much lately, and I need something to get back into the groove. So this will be 2025 Golden Demon warm-up. Basically, it's a warm-up. Just getting a feeling again for, sorry for the shake, my big head. Yeah, it will take a couple of days. It always takes a couple of days. Also, with streaming, and you have to remember keeping stuff in focus. Usually, I can be way more reckless while painting. When I just paint on my own, it doesn't matter what anybody else can see. You just go for maximum performance. But it's kind of it's part of the fun. I'm sitting here for these projects for a long, long time, and I thought to myself, why not share it with people? You know, I'm sitting here anyways, so why not stream it? Of course, there are some challenges there, but I think it would be super interesting to just share a journey like this, starting a project from build to finish. It definitely doesn't make it easier, but it's still fun. Yeah, so just trying to buff it up very slightly. If I do too much, I can always go back with Baneblade Brown. Sorry, that's a kind of a tongue twister. And reduce the brightness a little bit. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It takes a little time to really get going again. But I also was missing it, you know. I was missing all the painting sessions. I have to change the angle of the brush to really achieve the gradient I'm going for. Need more glaze medium here. Also, it's really hard to not overload the brush here because it's so watery. And the brush has so much capacity for all this water. And then I have little bits of dirt in here as well, which are the biggest enemy to smooth gradients. Oh yeah, absolutely. An army, yeah. For some reason, I always paint green. Everything I paint has some green in it. And everything I want to paint has green in it as well. Like Sons of Medusa chapter I really would love to paint, but I'm already painting Dark Angels. It's just a different shade of green. But I still would love to paint them. Just like green so much. Yeah, best color. there might be a correlation to the human eye being able to see much more shades of green than any other color. Maybe that's why it's such a beautiful color to people, because there's so much variation in green. Got cool green, warm green, brown green, like so many different ways to portray it, to depict it. It's kind of nice. I think we have to bring some warmth into that cloth or this bright leather when shading, because otherwise it's gonna look too pale, and I want some richness in there in the color. At least I'm in focus here. It takes a couple of layers to really build up that gradient. Yeah. Man, complementary contrast is very nice by itself, but green red is so good. It's one of the best contrasts you ever find. Green orange, green pink, green red, all these different variations just work so well. And you see it everywhere. Once you start looking for these contrasts, you suddenly see them everywhere in art and design, illustration, it's everywhere. Cinema. For a reason, it's just so nice to look at it. Yeah, man, we're in the same boat. You can see it in my background, but to the left, from my perspective, that's my pile of shame, and it's filled to the brim. I got enough models for my grandchildren, man. No joke. Not even playing. But someone once said it's a pile of opportunity, and that's what I see it as. Maybe I don't paint everything, but I have choice. I mean, I can go into the store and have choice as well, but the thing is with Warhammer, certain things you don't really have many opportunities to get. It's a typical fear of missing out. And also, I'm a collector and a completionist, and something always tells me to get everything ahead of time so I don't have to worry about it later on when I'm actually working on it. Oh, sorry. I mean, the most important part about all of this is getting started, man. It's like this part of Lord of the Rings, or maybe it's a Hobbit or something, where every what was it? I'm not sure about the English quote, but it was something like every journey begins with the first step, or with leaving the door, leaving, and it's so true. Like you can't even fathom what you have to do to paint all these models, but you can fathom just picking up a brush turning on the lights on your desk and just starting. Everything else you will figure out when the time comes, but just picking up the brush and just getting started, starting somewhere. It's the most important part about these huge projects. The more you think about it and rationalize it in your head, the more impossible it seems. Even was with streaming. Like, I had a couple of weeks where I prepared all the stuff, and the more I prepared, the more I felt like I'm not ready, you know? I have to do this, I have to do my equalizer setups for mic, so the sound quality is nice and stuff, but you get into this circle of never feeling ready. And I was like, no, let's go live. We'll figure everything else out in due time. But I'm not just procrastinating all the time, if that makes sense. Yeah, this soft shading part is one of the most tedious. Just so slow, and it's important to get it as smooth as possible. Also remembering that this is a practice model. It's not about perfection or this having to be larger than life. It's just getting back into the movements, the brush control, forgetting about focusing the model. It's a new skill I'm learning right now. I think I have to counter shade it with the base coat again, because this isn't as smooth as I want it to be. Even with the glaze medium, still pretty. Oh, you found the Discord link. Yeah, it's not as easy because I don't have premium Discord where you can make your own link and stuff. So you can see the link here as well, but it's like a CD key for a game in the 90s. It's not as easy. Yeah, and by the way, if you want or need or are interested in any feedback, always have the opportunity to post in my live review channel. So once you get some orgs done, maybe you want some feedback or anything, just post in there if that is something that's interesting to you. I always love to give feedback, advice. If you have any ideas about my work, please share. I think that's one of the most powerful things as an artist is sharing your knowledge and your opinions. Because together we can grow even faster. Most of the things I learned and I'm doing right now, I've learned from somebody who already knew what to do. Yeah, this is possible. Like I said, this might be a problem. I have to check permissions again. And today after stream I will definitely do it. I will double check it. Probably made some mistakes in there. Another friend was telling me something along those lines. That he couldn't see several channels. Such a noob with this kind of stuff. Like, I'm decent at art, but this kind of stuff is it's confusing to me. All this technical stuff. But yeah, thanks for the info. I'm definitely gonna double check it. Make sure that you can see the channel. It starts to look way better here. Finally finished. Live review. Twitch notifier. Welcome rules. Okay, you don't see any voice channels, I guess. If these are the only text channels, let me double check here. I will pull it up on screen. 1 second. So this is basically the Discord channel. We have a general channel, events, live review, ideas and feedback, work in progress, finally finished, gaming related, and mod channel. Yeah, I will definitely double check this, mate. I'm gonna double check this. We're gonna get this sorted out. Thanks a ton, definitely. Really appreciate the feedback. It's very helpful for me. Otherwise, it would take me ages to figure this stuff out. I'm going for the final highlight here now, for the soft shade highlighting, whatever. Just some screaming skull here to really buff it up to. Oh, okay, gotcha. So you got rules, notifier, live review, finally finished. Gotcha, man. I will definitely double check after stream. We get this done as well. I mean, what's the reason for a Discord channel otherwise if nobody can do anything on there? But I plan to grow it and even upgrade it to premium at some point. And just invest into the channel even more. Oh, damn, hey, that's one of the greatest moments starting the hobby. Don't even worry about what you know, what you don't know. Just have fun, man. It's such a magical time starting with this hobby. It's a certain vibe, a certain feeling that's so special about it. When I try to get motivated again, yeah, welcome, mate. When I try to get motivated, I think about the first time I came in contact with 40k and stuff, because just this vibe, this whole feeling of it was just so magical. Yeah, just enjoy every moment of it. Enjoy your mistakes, enjoy when stuff works out, just enjoy the hobby. Also, what I like about this hobby is, compared to gaming, when you do gaming, you can lose, you know? And of course, if you play 40k, you can lose as well. You can lose the game. But when you're painting, you're only making progress, man. You're only making progress. It's not like you spend 3 hours on a game or weeks and then yeah, you just die or your progress gets lost or anything. With miniature painting, to be honest, it's only forward. Each base coat you do, each line you paint, is one step closer to finished model. Yeah, maybe there's something in the glue. We finally figured it out, guys. They put something in the glue. But no shit. Back in the day, with the old paints I had in early 2000s, maybe, uh, they smelled way different than nowadays. I think they had some agents in there, like whatever it was. But I miss this old smell from these paints, the scent they gave off. I was looking on eBay to just buy a single pot to just put it on my desk and leave it open, just so I can experience that fragrance. I'm probably totally out of focus. That's okay. Yeah, absolutely. It's like meditation, man. It's not even a joke. It's very, very calming. There's no competition, and I play a lot of games as well. A lot of like fast games like RTS and survival games like Tarkov and stuff. I love these kind of games, but they it's always very close. You're on the edge of either joy or frustration all the time. You win, you're full of joy. You lose, you feel frustration. With miniature painting, it's not that frustrating. Sometimes you have like you want to paint the eye and you don't get the eye correctly the first time, like you slip up or something. But it's not the same than somebody just kicking in your sandcastle, like it is always in a game. And I really enjoy this with 40k and with miniature painting in general. Oh yeah, cats. Yeah, uh, you're absolutely right, Lee. I have no pets, but I was thinking about getting a cat because I love cats. I love animals. Yeah, but that's one of the things I'm. Mm, yeah, teabag the shooters. Who doesn't know the situation? But yeah, I was thinking about maybe getting a cat, but I'm worried it will destroy all my miniatures. I need a cat that's already super chill, like getting an old cat. Why does it always have to be a young cat? It could be an old, chill senior cat that's just chilling, just needs some love and a nice home. That could be pretty good. I mean, they have some shenanigans on their mind as well, but it's probably not as bad as when you have a very young cat and it's just going crazy all the time. Even though that's cute too. Yeah. For some reason, you can never be mad at them. They just do cat things. Yeah, the smell of glue, the smell of paint, it just sets the stage. It just brings me back. Isn't it funny that you can sometimes hear a song or experience some smell or anything, and you just are immediately brought back to your childhood or to a specific time in your life, and you have this same feeling even though many years have passed. It's a powerful tool, by the way. Like all these sports guys, like tennis players or football players, when you see them placing their ball, or just doing their dribbling before they do their pitch or whatever, they have a certain way they do it because they know it will bring them into a certain state of mind. Like they will practices in their in the practice schedule all the time, and when the moment finally comes and you're in the grand final or whatever in tourney, and you have to perform and you've got all those nerves going crazy, it's very powerful to just go into this state where you just go back to practice, and all of a sudden you are way more capable of actually performing. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a lot to figure out, and it's like I wasn't even trying to figure something out. I just noticed it at some point, and it made a lot of sense to me, at least. And it works for me. There's some rituals, like people call them, that's just my practice ritual or schedule or whatever, my routine, and it just brings you in a certain mindset. And mindset is so important. Whatever you do, mindset is king, man. I can notice when how far the discrepancy is between me performing very well and very bad. And it's all mindset. Okay, so we got this. I'm not sure. Maybe I should push the highlight even more. I feel like it should be even brighter for some reason. Don't know if you can see it as well as I do, but I feel like the transition isn't smooth enough. Gotta build like a bridge here between those two tones. I'm basically using a 50-50 mix now, trying to bridge those tones. I think it's okay. It's okay. I might shade back Bane by Brown a little bit. Do you have any tips on how to do painting in a good way? I don't have any tools at all. I'm trying to figure out the cheapest and efficient way now while exploring the hobby. Oh yeah, I most likely have a bunch of tips for you. So the most important thing is priming. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Yeah, I misread that. Oh yeah, even better because it's less complex. There is a product called Surface Primer from a company called Vallejo. They're from Spain. I show it to you. It's this product here that they have different sizes or different with different amount. This is gray. They have black as well. They have white. Let me see if I have black here. Yeah. See, they have a smaller variation of it as well. And the good thing about this primer is that you can use a brush for it. It's applicable by brush. You don't have to have an airbrush or a spray rattle can, any of those shenanigans. The good thing about this stuff is that it's very thin, so when you paint it on, it will look like there's nothing on the model. It's very thin, a very thin layer of a primer. It is kind of fast. It's applicable by brush. The only thing I would say about this stuff is leave it to dry overnight, because I had the experience of starting to paint or starting painting too early, and then it didn't really harden out as much as I liked. So this stuff is great. I use it all the time for most of my projects. Just prime all your stuff and leave it to dry overnight, and the next day there should be no problems. If you have huge amounts of models that you want to prime, um, I recommend Rattle Can. Yeah, if you have no place to spray, if you don't have like a backyard, or I would recommend this kind of stuff. And you can, for like 150 bucks, you can get an airbrush pistol and a compressor and everything you need usually. When you get to that point, you can think about that, because an airbrush is very efficient. It's not as toxic as using a spray can. I would never recommend that doing in your living room. Oh yeah, a balcony works too. A spray can be very time efficient. That's the thing. It's not as expensive. You pay like 10 to 50 bucks for a rail can. The only thing you have to keep in mind is the humidity and the temperature of your environment, basically. When you're on the balcony, I wouldn't recommend spraying when it's freezing, and not when it's 40 degrees Celsius either. Yeah, it can be hard to get into all nooks and crannies sometimes. Yeah, it can be hard, but you don't really have to get into every recess. It can be beneficial, especially when it's hard. You have to imagine, when it's hard for your spray can to get there, it's going to be hard for your brush as well. So sometimes if you prime it black and you can't reach it with your brush, it at least looks like a shadow, you know, better than gray plastic. But with the surface primer, um, if you have a larger brush, like this one for example, and you load it up quite decently, you don't thin it down too much, just a tiny little bit of water, you can absolutely cover it really quickly. But this model, for example, is primed with Chaos Black spray by a friend of mine. I didn't prime it, he primed it already, and when you apply it in the right way, it's perfect, man. It's really good. But if you mess it up and you get the orange skin effect, it's horrible. And just because I'm so afraid of this orange skin effect, because I messed it up a couple times in my past, I'm just not bothering with it anymore. Just the possibility of it, uh, yeah, deters me. But then it's just me not knowing how to do it perfectly. And since I don't have that security, I'm not doing it. But it's not that hard. Like, it's not that hard to get it right. Hmm. Yeah, idiot proof. I mean, surface primer out of the bottle, it's idiot proof, man. It is. It might take you a little bit longer here or there, but you can't really mess it up. If you just use the surface primer out of the bottle, you add a little bit, just a tiny little bit of water to your brush so it gets thinned just slightly, and you apply it. You leave it to dry before applying the next coat. There's not much that you can do wrong. Just take your time. I'd say these bottles aren't expensive, maybe you just get one. Yo, Sheldon Express. What's up, my man? Nice to see you. Yeah, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, there's a chance of that, but you really have to overdo it. You would really have to go crazy, and no problem, man. I love to help out. The most important I can show you here. You see the palette, you see I have a drop of paint here. It is pure, it's not thinned down, it's just a blob of paint. So if I have water in my brush already. So if I just mix it a little bit with the water in my brush, with this consistency, I'll show you on the other camera now. With this consistency, you will be fine. This is like your main consistency. It's like the consistency of milk. And don't try to overload your brush. Just regular loading, consistency of milk. Apply one layer, like with this part here. Let me focus it for you real quick. Like this little part. You can see it's a little bit watery, actually. But you can see that it's covered, but it's not opaque yet. Leave it to dry. Don't touch it anymore, even though it doesn't look opaque. Wait for it to dry. And once you can see that it's no longer wet, that all the pooling paint has dried, you can add the second layer. And you do that 3, 4, sometimes 5 times, depending on your color. If you got yellow, it takes longer, it takes more coats. But this will, at some point, look perfect. If you do it like that, you will get very smooth coats, no lumping, no bumping, no coverage of details. This is the way to go. Just apply layers, leave them to dry, and apply the next layer. And you will always have a very clean and smooth surface. That's a very nice rule of thumb. Yeah, same for the primer as well as painting, yeah. Because if you start too early with applying the second layer, all this paint that is just drying, that isn't dry yet, you're gonna tear apart, and then you have dried bits of paint together with liquid, and then it dries and it leaves a lumpy and bumpy surface in the end. So you really want to give it time to dry so you don't tear it apart and then have bits of paint in fresh paint and it becomes messy. Yeah, Streak City. Yeah, indeed. Okay, let's do a very fun thing, and that's soft shading. I think I'm gonna use Steel Legion Drab. I have it over. Where is it? Don't get scared by my vortex shaker. All right. Actually, I would have to get a new cheat for my palette, but that's what happens all the time. I should get a new sheet, but I will just use the old until there's no way to put paint on there anymore. And I start to mix like the green into the brown, and then it's over. Then I have to do something. But as long as there's still a little corner left, I use this. Okay, now we have to introduce this shade very gently. That's why I'm still mixing some Baneblade Brown into the Steel Legion wrap, so we don't have like too strong of a shade effect right away. We want to introduce a shade very gently. Okay. And I would want to apply the shade mostly to the recesses, but also to the slanted areas, or yeah, like this. This introduces some warmth into our mix here. It's not as bright as a box art. I think they use Screaming Skull or something as a base. That's why it's so bright. But it's okay too. And we will increase the amount of Steel Legion drab stage by stage. Finished miniatures, yeah, I have some. I show you in a second. I have some nice miniatures to show. Mostly Dark Angels, because most of the miniatures I painted I sold. But yeah, I'm gonna show you some Dark Angels in a second. But you can see how, I don't know how clear it is, let me see. Yeah, you can see how I introduce some warmth into that pale brown beige. It really helps selling this. No. You can definitely interrupt painting. I mean, I do this to share, so if you have any questions or you want to see some models, dude, I love it. Definitely gonna do it. What is more cool than people wanting to see some models? Yeah, give me a second. One sec. Yeah, it's my Warhammer temple, man. It's not even. It's an entire room for nothing else than just miniatures. People would maybe ask, I thought miniatures are small, but no, they need an entire room. For example, this is a sergeant. Let me focus on it. I posted it on my Instagram as well. So these models I've already made pictures of. Let me turn it. Thanks, mate. Yeah, and you can see all these slight hues and slight shadows in his cloak. It's the same methods that than what I'm using on the orc right now. It's pretty similar. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You got it already. Yeah, some just basic tactical marines. This is just for my personal army here. This is army I paint for myself. It takes way too long. I spent way too much time on these models to make an army. Those edges, a good question. Just a lot of patience, and there are, of course, there are hints and tips to it, how to do it better, but it's a lot of practice. It's just brush control. At the beginning, my first Space Marine didn't look close to this, so I'm not just a natural talent or anything. I'm just put a lot of effort and time into it. Some of these models took me many days. So right now I'm painting quite fast with the orc, to be honest. It's a warm-up model. Got another with a big plasma cannon. I got 10 of these, so I just picked out some of them. But yeah, I will stream more often, and at some point I will do a lot of edge highlighting. I mean, we're painting heavy metal style Games Workshop miniatures, box art, so there will be a lot of these edges. Yeah, a lot of little battle damage, wear and tear. And the last model I have here, I have more. I can show more another day. But this is one of the Deathwing Knights I painted for Golden Demon last year. Sadly, they didn't place because I had some transportation damage, and they got disqualified basically, which is quite sad. Because I spent so much time on these. Thanks for the follow, XCX. Appreciate it a lot. But yeah, my goal for these was to really get them close to the original box art of them, with all the bone armor, the shading in there with the shield. It's all very similar approach than what I do right now with the pants and stuff on the orc. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. Thanks for the follow, Søren. yeah, like I said, I will stream more regularly. Maybe 3 to 4 times a week. At least that's my early goal. Let's see how it works for me. Maybe it's gonna be more, maybe a little bit less, but that's kind of the amount of streams I want to do. At least 3 a week would be dope. Yeah, try it, man. Why not? The only thing is setting up all the cameras, the lighting. It's been quite a challenge to get all the stuff working the way I wanted to and get cameras that work. But yeah, do it absolutely, man. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty chill. Um, maybe. But it's kind of crazy how many people are starting to get into Warhammer these days. It's amazing. Sometimes I feel like the more I focus on something, the more happens there. I mean, it's probably because I focus more on it, but it's kind of weird because, like, for years, almost nothing happens. Then I started with Warhammer, then 10th edition comes, new Space Marine designs, everything gets overhauled, everything gets overworked. Maybe, maybe I'm a little magician. Yeah, that's when I started getting into Warhammer again because my first Space Marine I painted when I was like 14 years old or maybe 15. I'm 36 by now. But then, like 5 to 6 years ago, I got back into painting miniatures. I mean, I mean, Blood Bowl is, yeah. How should I phrase it? It's Warhammer, dude. It's not 40k. It's not Horus Heresy. It's not Old World. It has different rules, but it's all the same universe. At least I consider it to be Warhammer. Maybe you don't consider it to be Warhammer, just a different game mode. But in the end, yeah, yeah, Blood Bowl is pretty cool. What I was gonna say is, in the end, it's all on the same website, warhammer.com. Yeah, Blood Bowl is pretty amazing. I just never was into American football. Never was hooked by it. So that's the thing for me. That's why it's kind of hard to get hyped about it for me. I think the miniatures are amazing. Just never had any real connection to the sport. Uh, oh, gotcha. What I figured is I buy a codex for edition, and then I know I have to paint an army for the edition. And once I make progress, there's always already another edition, and I'm not even done with the army for the previous. So what I'm gonna do is never buy a codex again unless I have an army ready to go. I have like 3 codices I've never used, or maybe once or twice, because I never had an army for it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sounds good, man. Your wallet is vibrating already. Yeah. I haven't bought anything but one box. I bought one box like a couple of weeks ago. That's these. I always forget it. The free company militia, right? I got those for my Golden Demon project because these gonna be casualties of war later. But other than that, I didn't buy any models for a long time. I have too much, man. I just have too much. I wish I had less so I could convince my conscious, my what's it called, my inner monk that it's okay to buy more, basically. My straps here or my leather here or what it is, linen, is definitely much brighter than the box art, but who cares? So, no. I need some final shade here. Yeah, printing, man. It's pretty powerful. The only thing I don't like about 3D prints, and it's not really true anymore, is if I see any layering, any 3D print layering, I can do it, man. I don't know why. It throws me off. Of course, for terrain, or you got these resin printers, man, you don't even see it anymore that it's 3D printed. Then I have no problem. But once you see those little layers, no. It just kills the entire illusion of a miniature. Yeah, yeah. If you have a good printer and you have the right settings and you know what you're doing, you don't see that stuff. And it looks amazing. I work at a hobby store, and we do 3D printing as well for customers. And some of the stuff I've seen looks brilliant. So I would paint these, yeah. But I can sometimes I see like these models where you can clearly see that it's 3D printed, and I get it. Like if you just need models on the table, it's not a big deal. But as a display or competition painter, this is a no go for me. Only if you see it though. Okay, we need another shade. Let me see what the box art looks like. That's another thing I do a lot is just look at the stuff. It's so bright on here, it's crazy. How bright this is. It's like really cool model. Yeah, so bright, it's crazy. All right, let's see. Do you think it would be considered weird if I ask my local store to do priming for me? I don't think it's weird. There are a lot of people that are very uncomfortable about priming, but in the end, you won't see it later. You know, if you don't build up texture with a rattle can because you sprayed at minus 10 degrees or something, you won't see it anymore later on. You don't have to worry that much about priming. It's not that bad. You can do it, man. I believe in you. You can do it. Just get either surface primer or you get a rattle can, and you can try it. You can take one model, prime it, look at it. How does it look? Does it look good, or do you see any problems? Don't try on the model you really want to paint. That would be my only advice there. You could also prime anything, like an empty paint pot or anything. You're gonna see how the finish comes out. You got this, man. Yeah, with mold lines, yeah. That's if I see mold lines, it destroys the entire illusion of having a miniature because you see that it comes out of a machine. Kinda. I really try to eliminate those things. Also gaps, like on this model, since it's a test model, I didn't really pay insane attention on these kind of things, so there's like a little small gap there, and also there on the back side of the wrap there's a little bit of spilled over glue here and stuff like that. You won't see it. Usually you won't see it, but if you look at it, or if you want to make like close-up pictures of it, you better take care of those parts. I mean, all of them are important, but like I said, you can take like any other object. It could be anything. It could be like an old action figure or whatever it is. It could be a piece of plastic. Just try it out. Try to get a feeling how it works and how it feels. I know when you have a big project ahead of you or in front of you, and you want to have everything work out and everything should be perfect, it can be overwhelming. And at some point you are like, I don't even want to start, because if I mess up the priming, where I'm gonna go? I could only tell you to maybe watch another video on priming to make you feel more comfortable, or just buy a rattle can and a surface primer and try it on another object, a piece of plastic, something, and you will see how it looks, how it feels like. Don't be afraid, man. It's gonna work out. Also, you're gonna improve on every model. So the first model you're painting looks a certain way, and you're not gonna be happy or stuff, or you're gonna be like, I wished it would be cleaner, and you're gonna improve on the next miniature already, and then 5 miniatures further, you're gonna improve again, and then you're gonna be like, I want to go back and I want to fix all those other models because they look worse than the models I just painted, and you're gonna get into this endless loop of I want to fix this, I have to adjust this. It can be beneficial, but it holds you back. Yeah, sheet back of plastic spoons, for example. It's a good idea. It could be anything. It could be, I don't know, anything. And you will see how the finish is. Yeah, my palette is getting a little bit messy already. It's hard to properly prepare the paint on there. I mean, I'm gonna probably paint for like another 15 minutes or something, and then call it a day. Do some of the highlighting. And I'm probably gonna be back tomorrow after that. Most likely. Just in advance, usually I'm gonna be on around the same time as today. So in the evening if you are living in Europe. Since I still work a full-time job, it takes a while to home. And then I have to eat something, start the stream, and get going. Can you even see that? It's kind of hard to see. But that's basically what edge highlighting is, what you asked about earlier. Sort of just getting the feeling of it, getting used to it. It's actually not that hard to feel. It's hard, of course. Everything that you get used to doesn't feel hard, but of course it was hard for me as well to get the hang of it. But once you get it, you get it. So yeah, now I'm highlighting the most raised areas on the folds, on his pants. I'm not too happy with the recipe here, but it's a warm-up model. And it's a little bit of a freestyle recipe. It was just what I felt at the time. It's okay. Just happy little accidents, right? I think there will be a point where I get my groove on as well, where it just flows, where I reach the flow state. Just getting used to the setup and all this kind of stuff. Camera angle, looking at chat, holding the miniature differently than I used to. It's just stuff to get used to. Yeah, man, that's what the stream is for as well. If you need some company, you need like a hangout room just to do your hobbying, feel free, man. That's exactly what I thought about when creating this channel. Or bank holiday, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I need more glaze medium in there. It's way too thick. The paint is way too thick. But I need a new sheet of paper on my palette as well, because this isn't really doing the job anymore. Not enough space on there. All right. I mean, we didn't get too far, to be honest. We fixed some, or we overworked the skin a little bit. We started working on the leather straps and his pants. It's not too much, but I mean, it was the first stream. We had to deal with a couple of things, get used to everything. I think it's okay. We'll definitely continue this stuff tomorrow. Let me check Discord. Yeah, feel free to join the Discord, guys. The link is down there. If you scroll down in the About page, there's a follow me button. There is a Discord link and everything. Would love to see you joining the Discord channel. Also, every follow is appreciated a lot. We got almost half of our follower goal, 50. We're a Twitch affiliate, so we got over half today. It's amazing. Really thankful for that. And I will be back tomorrow around 8 p.m. Central European time, so Berlin time, basically. Yeah, it would be nice, man. It would be my first time to get there. I will definitely be back tomorrow. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Also, staying here. I just saw a lot of people just were watching, were lurking. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope everybody is having a wonderful Sunday evening. Don't even think about tomorrow. I don't, I know, because I have to stand up early. But anyways, much appreciated. Really appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening. see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye guys. See you.